Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes. I'm John Peckman. This is the John Peckman Podcast. Coming to you from lovely downtown Portland, Connecticut. Just over the bridge from somewhere. We're always over the bridge from somewhere. Wherever you are, right? Odds are. Anyway, we are here with Dave Kuzminski Jr. We had Senior up in here. Now we got Junior up in here.
All right.
Say hi to the people.
Hello.
Yeah. So tell us about yourself, please.
Oh, boy. Like spiritually, physically, ecumenically?
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
David Kuzminski. Technically not a junior because we don't share the same middle
Oh.
name. So it's the
Didn't know that.
same vintage, just a different year.
Gotcha.
Let's see. I currently live in East Hampton. My current job right now is I am a public school teacher for the Consolidated School District of New Britain, teaching general music, K through 5. I used to be a teacher here at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, and then just slowly, I guess my students kind of dropped off, and I don't know, it just kind of went away, and gigging whenever I can on drum set.
I got you. So you're a drummer.
Yes.
All right. Cool. Do you want to tell us how did it all begin for you, musically or drum wise or otherwise?
Drum wise, this is a tale. Do you sure you want to do this?
What else? I'm here. I'm dressed. I'm out of the house.
Okay, well, this is like Old Testament length.
That's fine.
And begets and begets.
Sure.
And begets.
Yep.
So it kind of started off, of course, my parents, obviously. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's how this goes. That's how my students are.
I'm sorry.
So it kind of started off, obviously my parents, they own the music store, and I've been hanging out here as far as I can remember. Some of my earliest memories are probably from this store. And it went down with me just constantly going down to the drum set down there and just beating the hell out of it.
Sure.
And there used to be a woman here. Her name was, I think it was Jean Wisicki. And eventually she kind of suggested, he's like, yeah, David, your son's kind of good. Maybe you should, do some lessons or something of that. So he's like, yeah, okay. So yeah, I kind of started taking lessons. I think I was about, 10 years old, I think, at that point.
Wow.
So then from there, it was like doing the band thing, in middle school and whatnot. And then it just became more and more of an obsession. And did that in high school, and then eventually I got accepted to the school that I had been wanting to go to since probably as a freshman in high school. I went to Berkeley College of Music.
Nice.
I graduated, so
Wow,
yeah,
that's heavy.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. See, because here's the thing: when you graduate, you just get a piece of paper saying that you're really good at the drums.
That's better than. I don't know.
No, because if you drop out, that's when you're famous and you go all around the world and stuff like that.
Oh,
that seems to be the thing at Berkeley.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, it is what it is. So from there, I got out of Berkeley and I joined the military as a bandsman. So that's how I got to go ahead and tour around the world with a set of drums and M16.
So you did see the world.
I saw parts of it. I saw I saw a desert. That was kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I saw things blow up. That was
nice.
Yeah, that was cool. 4th of July, but not on the 4th of July.
Oh.
And then I saw more desert when I was stationed in Arizona. So
different desert.
Yeah, different desert,
Okay.
different part of the world. And then eventually I met my spouse, Adrian, and then we both kind of
in the desert
in Arizona.
Okay.
She was there as a clarinet player, and I was still as a percussionist.
Gotcha.
And then from there we transitioned out, and I went into the reserves.
Okay.
And then I went to school at CCSU for my state certification for teaching.
Gotcha.
And then I got that done, and then I transitioned to the National Guard, which I highly recommend. And I've been in New Britain. This is my 6th year teaching.
Wow. It's been that long already.
Yes.
Wow. How is it? Is it okay? Is it what you thought it would be, or nothing is like anyone ever thought anything?
Yeah, nothing is like anything you ever think. It's if you think you're going for your dream job and then you finally get there, you're going to find a whole bunch of other things. You're like, wow, I didn't realize this kind of was part of the package. And then you're like, this is not as great as I thought it was going to be.
How does it compare to a desert? Is it similar
Yeah,
in any way?
similar in any way? No, because I can't shoot back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Wow. Okay. So did you, so you graduated Berkeley.
Yes.
So you technically, according to Berkeley, knew everything that there was to know.
Everything.
Because the paper said.
All of it.
Okay.
Music from day one up to now. Well, up until my graduation day, I knew all
right.
music.
You know, there's still things going on now.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Who cares?
Like the modern period, I don't know much about that because that was beyond the expiration date of
Right.
of the diploma.
Right. When you joined the service, did your education musically continue, or is it just, you know, they assume that you're here, that you know, like, was there continuing education in the service or no?
To be a military musician, it depends what branch you are going into because each branch has its own set of criteria that they want you to join under.
Okay.
So I joined the Army, so they kind of had their own thing.
Okay.
So what I had to do is, first of all, I had to go ahead and take an audition as a civilian just to make sure that I can go ahead and you know, somebody had to come up from, I think Norfolk, Virginia is still where kind of the music program is based out of as far as the schooling and stuff like that. So somebody had to come up there. They had to listen to me and they're like, yeah, this guy is good to go.
Okay.
And then from there, you have to go to what they call MEPS, Military Entrance Processing Station, or Enlistment Processing Station. I think that's what it stands for. The only thing I remember is you have to pee a lot because they like to drug test a lot. So yeah, that was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, half the people end up kind of going home because
they'd rather do drugs than
I guess, or they thought they had cleared that window in time.
And then they just kind of backslid.
Yeah. So, you know, that happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you wash out at that point.
There are some people that's like, yeah, guess what? You can't enlist because this test came back positive. Good job, genius.
Whoa. I wonder, this is a stupid, weird question, because now I realize, you know, recreational, I don't know why I even care because I barely do, but now I'm curious. Now you got me thinking. Military. So now recreational marijuana use now is going to be the thing. Military, never ever. Like I just wonder at what does that ever?
That is orders of magnitude above my decision.
Yeah. I'm
just
just curious. I just wonder.
I would wager a guess that it will still be prohibited for uniformed personnel.
To be honest, I would hope so. As a civilian, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like at what point do we just everything changes to the point where you're like, well, hell, who cares?
Yeah, I really wouldn't like to
Hopefully
be in a
never.
Black Hawk with, you know, some pilot who's been toking the night before.
Right.
They can't just, you know, park it on a cloud to rest for a while.
That's actually, now that I think about it, that's a stupid question because you still can't. I mean, your place of employment can still. This is all right. Never. You know what?
This is going down.
I'm just figuring things out loud into a microphone. Never mind. Who cares? I don't even know why I care. I will say this. I'm tired of everything, everywhere I go, just smelling weed everywhere. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. I'm totally over it.
Yeah.
I just realized, I'm just like, oh, weed everywhere. I smell it everywhere.
That was kind of like Berkeley.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I don't know the truth of this, but this is kind of a colloquial legend up there. Oh, man, I can't remember who it was. Oh, I think it was Keith Jarrett.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Piano player.
Yes.
Okay.
Not supposedly. Supposedly.
Right. Yeah.
Keith
We're not
Jarrett,
speaking Florida.
It's,
okay.
No.
Gotcha.
Supposedly, Keith Jarrett was expelled from Berkeley for smoking marijuana.
When he was a student?
Apparently.
Okay.
Like I said, this is the colloquial legend.
Sure.
So in the process of him, you know, during that whole time of him being expelled and him actually leaving the premises, he went around to all the piano rooms and he detuned all of the pianos. Now, not just like random, you know, let's just go ahead and just start reefing on, you know, with a tuning wrench and detuning all the strings. Apparently, he did this rather creatively where he would go ahead and adjust like all the C's in one room and he would like tune them down a half step or a quarter step or something like that. And then he would go to the next room and he'd be like, okay, now I'm going to mess, you know, with the B flat and E flat and just maybe tune those up a quarter step. So apparently all the projects for that semester were just completely jacked up because if you're ever sitting there like playing something you have to have somebody else listen to it because it's like, okay, it's either I've been listening to this so much and it starts to sound good,
Right.
or it's just really, really good. So yeah, I think there were a lot of people in that former boat where they're like, is it just me or is this just starting to sound good?
It just messes with your reality.
I guess.
You have to adjust. So a stoned, vengeful, and patient Keith Jarrett. Like you think about that's thinking.
Yeah.
That's just like, okay, it's on. All right, hold on.
If it is true, that's
crazy.
probably one of the best things I have heard, as I said, to, all legal liability.
That's kind of awesome.
I have no idea if it's true. That's just kind of a colloquial legend that I heard up there working the front desk.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Is Keith Jarrett alive? I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay. We don't know. Wow, that's heavy. Can you get kicked out now?
I don't know.
Berkeley?
Man. I graduated in 2003. I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean,
So there's no drug. Why am I? We have to move on. I'm talking like I care. I don't care. I don't care if what Berkeley's drug policy is. I don't know why am I acting like I care? I don't. Let me think. I did have. Oh, so did you ever hear this one? This is similar. I wish I remember where I heard this in some rock and roll book, but Carl Palmer,
drummer for
Emerson, Lake and
Yep,
Palmer,
yep.
right? And he had gongs, gongs behind him, and part of his drum solo was he would hit the gongs, and his roadie over the course of weeks just shortened the rope that hung the gong just a little, so that eventually he couldn't reach.
I like it.
Or lowered his throne. I don't remember. It was one or the other, but they're just like, watch, look, watch. So he had to extend a little more until it got to the point where it was out of reach. But they did it gradually, so that, like you're saying with the Keith Jarrett thing, you're just kind of like, maybe I'm shrinking, maybe my arm, and then it messes with you.
Yeah.
You're just like, it never occurs to you that like, oh, the roadie's just
messing with you.
Yeah, they're just messing with you. Yeah. But it's the gradual.
I would love to get to the point where I have a roadie setting up gongs. That would be kind of dope.
Yeah, that would be cool. Do you have a gong? I have a gong.
You have a gong.
I do.
What size is your gong?
It's not a large gong. I think it's a 22, but it's a Wuhan. Okay, this is drummer talk. It spreads. It's thin.
Yeah.
So it's not a symphonic gong. It spreads really fast.
Dope.
So you just boom, and it does everything you want a gong to do.
Right.
Quickly.
Awesome.
It just, you know what I mean? Because for those of I think most of us, when you think of a gong, you want that satisfying.
Yeah, you want that explosion.
Yep. And then you remember when you're in junior high, you're like, oh man, they have a gong like Alex Van Halen. You hit it and it goes, boom.
Yeah.
And you're like, why doesn't it? Because it's thicker.
Yeah.
Right. I have a very thin gong, so it does the gong thing right away. So it's nice.
Awesome.
And it is behind my drum kit
That's outstanding.
currently. Yeah, just sitting there in the room. And no one can raise or lower it because the ceiling is only so high. So
Okay.
even if I had a roadie, which I don't,
Okay.
it wouldn't matter. What is did you enjoy your Berkeley experience? I'm just curious because I never had that experience. Overall, was it worth it?
Was it worth it for chillins who are thinking about the musical route?
Yeah, or just you personally, did it satisfy your curiosity?
I think it satisfied my curiosity. I think, honestly, looking back on it at this point, I think I was probably a bit too immature to go there because I think I was like 17 my first year there.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I turned 18 like in September so originally.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was a younger person in my grade. So yeah, I think I was maybe a little bit too immature. And like I wasn't a very academically oriented person. Like most of us, I think drummers are like, yeah, I just want to go there and play drums all the time.
Yeah.
And then you start doing, theory and ear training and you're like, ugh, and you're just in a tailspin.
Yeah, like this sucks. I came here because I thought it wasn't school.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for some people, it's like the guitarists and the piano players. I mean, during theory, they're having kind of all these, connection moments because they're like, oh, that's what I've been doing all these years because they can see it on the board.
Right. Sure.
For us drummers, it's like,
yeah, you're starting at the beginning.
Okay, yep, that's a fifth. Okay, that's what that looks like. Dope. Oh, that's a minor chord. Okay, cool. And then you start analyzing stuff, and it's just never ending.
So it's harder for drummers, you think, overall.
And then the annoying thing is the things you learn in Theory 1, you learn how to break all the rules you learned in Theory 1 in Theory 2.
Okay.
In addition to learning a new set of rules, which you learn how to break in Theory 3, and then the process repeats until you get to Theory 4.
And that each one of those is a year?
No, it's just a semester, so 4 months, 16 weeks.
Oh. All right. So in 16 weeks, you're breaking every rule that you learned.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. What was your favorite? Who did you study with? Who did you learn the most from?
I kind of wanted to go the smorgasbord route and kind of take with everybody that I could. So I think I first of all, my first semester there, I studied with a gentleman by the name of Bob Tamani, who was great.
Okay.
He's a great all-around player. Then my second semester, I think I studied with a dude named Dave Cowan, who's like a really big funk drummer. He was great to study with. I think after that, I studied with Mike Mangini.
Okay.
And then who else? That's kind of a blur. Some of the other people that I did study with, probably Steve Wilkes. He was great. I studied with Rod Morgenstein.
Okay.
He was really cool. Probably the favorite drummer that I studied with up there was Dave DeCenzo.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
He's playing with, I think he's doing a lot of work with Hiromi right now, who's I think Japanese piano player, and she does, the kind of really progressive thing.
Okay.
I think if I had studied with Dave, probably my first semester there, I probably would have opted to take with him throughout my entire career there.
I see.
Just because I think we all get into certain type of drummers that we just kind of identify with, and we see ourselves in them, and we want to go ahead and go that route. So if I had my choice to to redo it, I would probably take with Dave the whole time.
Okay, you would have gone down that road.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool. What can you describe? What's his thing?
His thing is really just, he's a groove guy, but he has the ability to go ahead and just take, insane licks and just make them feel in such a way where you can still kind of feel, the 2 and 4 thing.
Okay.
But he's just, very good at playing groove and time and mixing in, really intricate, kind of really subtle things to it.
As opposed to some of the other things you learned before that?
Yeah. I guess.
Like what's Rod? So I know Rod. What's his deal?
Rod, and I hate speaking for other people.
Yeah.
But from my perception, Rod was all about, kind of knowing, okay, what the chart is doing. What's this section doing here? What's this section doing here? What are you playing here? How are you going to transition from this part to this part here? And he also had the advantage / disadvantage of being kind of lefty. So when you walked into the studio, he had his drum set there, set it up left-handed, and then the kid across from him was set up right-handed, which I really liked because it was just like staring into a mirror.
Oh, that's cool.
Where other drummers are like, yeah, I don't like that because it's weird watching him play. It's like it's just watching him.
It's easier if you let. Yeah, that's cool.
So that was kind of his thing.
That's awesome. So it was you left Berkeley a better player than you went in.
Yeah, for sure. I think I left Berkeley a better player. I think it's true of any music student who comes out of a music school. I think you're probably going to spend, a year or two going through and using an Army reference. I mean, you're taking, can we swear?
I don't know. Can we? The boss is here. I don't know. Do we have a bleep?
We can take it out.
All right. Take
it out in post. So yeah, the Army thing is like, taking, 50 pounds of and putting it in a 25-pound bag. That's kind of like music school where you're learning all this stuff, and you have to practice it for a jury or for an adjudication or whatever. And then you finally get out and you're like, yeah, I'm not really probably ever going to use this. Like,
I got you.
I'm not going to play in 15, 16. Animals as Leaders is never going to call me, so I'm not going to work on this stuff. Let me go ahead and work on this stuff here that is more applicable to what I do.
I got you.
What I want to do.
But somebody might use different. So it's different for everybody. Like you say, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's what it's all about, right? So like you said, they're exposing you to how many different things, and then you pick and choose.
Yeah.
Wow, we just invented education.
Wow. And wow, cool. I'm part of it.
Far out. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So good thing you went. You're glad you went.
Yes.
It was worth it.
Yes.
Did you go through the public school? So when did you learn to read music? Before?
Before attending Berkeley?
Yeah.
I had an idea. I mean, I could read music fairly well.
Okay.
I mean, I would try to do all state stuff like that. So I could read some fairly intricate, like, single line, snare drum stuff.
Sure.
Drum set stuff is a bit weird because a lot of the charts that I play to, in the Army bands and whatnot, they're not notating every single thing.
Right.
You're going to hit the rack tom on the E of
Sure.
2 and then, play, so you're just kind of reading train tracks and you're just reading, some sort of rhythm like in,
Sure.
eighth to a quarter to an eighth, and then you just kind of play that, highlight that rhythm, and you're just kind of filling stuff in between. So that was an adjustment it's like, okay, so I just have to go ahead and kind of fill in before this thing and around it. Yeah. And it's like, okay, so that took some time just to build up a vocabulary.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, I was definitely working on that a lot there, and it's something I still do today.
Yeah. So you're still playing?
Yes.
What situations are you in?
For my group, I am a staff sergeant in the 102nd Army National Guard Band.
Okay.
I am in charge of our jazz combo, which is called Jazz Ordnance. So I'm kind of in charge of the group itself, like booking gigs and stuff like that, and communicating with all the musicians and assigning what their task is to do that type of stuff there.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool. So I can basically pick whatever tunes I want. So it's basically, we kind of do like a traditional jazz, like quintet sort of thing. And that's what we focus on. So like more like real book tunes, but we try to pick a real book tune and we try to make it, like a hip arrangement or something like that.
So that's a good, so you're happy. That sounds better than being in a big ensemble where the parts are the parts.
I have fun doing that, but also like if I have, if one of the other groups is doing like a big band tune, they'll ask me to sit in on it because I can play that stuff fairly well.
Okay.
So that's fun too, to go ahead and just kind of be that supporting role and not have to think too much. Just go ahead and just kind of groove out on it.
Yeah.
So that's what I do for the Army. Post-COVID, I was playing a lot with, or no, pre-COVID.
We're not.
There we go. Yeah, we're not post yet. Pre-COVID. I was actually playing a lot with a dude by the name of Jeff Pitchell, who I believe you're familiar with.
Yep.
So yeah, I was playing a lot with him and having a lot of fun doing that.
Cool. Shuffles.
Yeah, shuffles.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's fun. I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, no, he's a great player. Yeah, he's I don't know. I made a lot of good music with him too, because he'll play. He's good to play with. He'll play to you. You play to him.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can create something, which, believe it or not, is not always the case.
Yeah, it's not super technical, flashy or anything like that, but you really need to focus on like making the music feel good.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. All right. So, what are your future plans post-COVID? What's you gonna start playing again, or who knows? We don't know. Nobody knows.
Post-COVID, I have quite an ambitious 5-year plan. My goal is to be the world record holder for world records.
Oh.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I will have more world records than anybody else. So many that I would have a world record for the number of
I
world
got you.
records
In anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Who?
I'm going to start with blinking.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, that's
go
good.
To flossing. Yep. I don't know. Hopefully, once things.
Does anybody hold more than one record? I mean, maybe you could do 2 and you're in.
Maybe that'd be dope.
Figure it out.
I don't know. My plans, hopefully, once things kind of get back to normal and people start gigging again, hopefully, play gigs.
Sure.
That'd
be nice.
My teaching thing. Yeah, but the gigging thing, it's becoming too saturated now with hacks.
I agree.
It's like you get somebody who just watches a bunch of videos on YouTube and then suddenly it's like, yeah, let's put a band together. And they're going ahead and playing in, these clubs that used to have pretty good bands come in.
Yep.
And now it's like, well, hey, we can just hire these guys for, like $50 a pop. Why don't you do that? It's like,
right. And they'll bring their friends because their friends are impressed that they can play at all.
Yeah. And, it's like for the whole studio thing, people are annoyed with that. It's like, well, how come it cost you like $75 to come in here and do that? It only took, you did that in 2 takes.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
but you're not accounting for the 30 years of me learning how to do that.
Right.
In 2 takes.
Right. And the fact that 2 takes saved you money.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're talking my language. Yes, it's a different world. I guess that's a whole other conversation.
We can have that right now. No.
Oh man, I don't know.
That would be long.
That's kind of depressing, in a way.
You have Xanax?
Do I have to do a piss test? Is that why you're asking?
Well, I mean, if you're going to get depressed, I mean.
Oh, dude, I was born depressed. Don't let that bother you. That's business as usual. All right, you ready for the wacky questions? Do you know what the wacky questions are? I got to start switching them up because people already know.
Bring it on.
All right, okay. Well, first of all, I have to preface this always. I have to say, because I assume I'm a music freak.
Okay.
Always trying to listen to something, always, constantly. Are you a music freak? Or you just kind of let me put it this way. I consider myself, for example, I am a music listener first who happened to play music later because I wanted to find out more about it. Are you like that?
I would not consider myself a music freak.
Okay. Do you listen to music constantly?
No.
Okay.
Not like every day. I do get on Jags where, like, if I'm working around the house, I have my wireless headphones and I'll have those on and, listen to stuff.
All right. So, one album. Desert. You're familiar with the desert. Desert Island. One album. Maybe you already did this. What did you listen to when you were in the desert? If you could pick one album that you're like, this is life. This is it. This is it. This says everything. You have 5 seconds.
Are we working under the... Oh, no! No. Are we working under the context that I would actually be marooned on a desert island?
Yeah. Is such a thing possible in this day and age?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I would have to say, if it's out there, Hannah Montana's Greatest Hits.
Oh, nice.
My thing is, if you're going to be stuck on a desert island, you probably don't want to bring something with you that you really enjoy, because then you would just end up ruining it. So you might as well just bring something you hate.
Oh, that's interesting.
To kind of use that as some sort of, fuel and motivation.
So after a couple years, the nuance of Hannah Montana emerges. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of dig that.
Right?
Now I got to rethink. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because you're right. Then you would grow to hate the thing that you love the most.
Yeah.
Wow. See? Did you learn that in Berkeley? That kind of thinking? Because that's what I needed more of, obviously.
No, I don't know. It's just spur of the moment philosophy, I guess.
This is not a Keith Jarrett thing. He didn't say that, did he?
No, this was Keith Richards in between tokes.
Right. Okay. No,
in
that's
fact,
cool.
I think Keith Richards sold to Keith Jarrett for the Berkeley thing.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt about that. Yeah, I think that would be safe to assume. All right, that's cool. I kind of dig that. Is there anything that you're as a drummer? Is there anything that you are currently working on that you would like to share? A technique, a lick, something? Are you like that? Do you do that?
I've actually been, for the past couple months, really diving into my practice routine and how to maximize things and work, practice smarter, not harder type thing.
Yep.
What am I working on right now? I got a great book, the Philly Joe Jones book. It's basically as thick as a real book, but they're all Philly Joe Jones solos, all transcribed, very well done. Yeah. So that's like really, really heady, because I'm pretty good with like the Wilcox and like the Pratt stuff.
Okay.
But this is weird because you're learning somebody's vocabulary, so they have like a different way. Like if there's 16-note triplets, he has a particular sticking that he likes to use. It's like, oh man, that's really weird to go ahead and do that into this transition that he does.
Gotcha.
So it's learning those nuances. So I'm doing that.
I don't know much about. I don't want to interrupt. I don't know much about Philly Joe. Are his choices unusual?
No, they're not necessarily unusual. I mean, they are economical where they make sense, where he does a lot of stuff like hand to hand. And, when he's coming out of, if he's doing 2 strokes on the left, chances are he's going to go to the right and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, for other things, it's like, well, if he's playing, just 6 notes, it's like, why doesn't he just do alternating? Why did you do that sticking there?
I got
type of thing, just because that's probably something that he did a lot in his youth, and it just kind of worked its way into his personality. And it's
good to learn. You're learning things from.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's cool.
The other thing I'm working on is trying to play perfectly imperfect. So instead of trying to play against like doing rock beat number 1 against a 16th note grid, doing it against a quintuplet grid. So instead of doing, 1, 1 E and a 2 E and a. So doing, like 1 2 3 4 5, or excuse me, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. And that's your highest. So it kind of has this weird.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Kind of like the JD Beck type of stuff.
Right.
But
yeah,
there are some people that get like really into the math, and they're like, "No, I'm doing that over sevens." It's okay.
I see. Okay, so it. Well, first of all, I don't know. Does anybody say hinky anymore? You know what that means?
I think you do.
Okay, yeah, I know. So I have to ask my kids sometimes when I teach. I'll say something. I'll go, Do you still say that? No, we don't say hinky. We don't say hinky. But that to me, so it's hinky. It's glitchy.
Yeah.
Do you say glitchy?
Glitchy, yeah. Glitchy. It's kind of that glitchy thing, but it's a very measured glitchy. It's not like a random sort of thing. And that's a hard thing to do.
Can you use that when the band's playing straight 4, or is this the whole arrangement?
I'm just trying to get it in my bones, man.
Okay.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't use that the whole time, but if you're doing something just kind of like, like a vamp or something like that.
Yeah, right.
It could work there. It could maybe work over some, because, I'd like with my jazz combo, we do one tune, Red Clay, where I'll try to go ahead and work that in, on some of the vamps and whatnot. So.
I gotcha. So is there, not to get totally nerdy, so if you're doing that, so let's say you're theoretically, you're playing in like, would it be 5/8?
No, you're still thinking of it as in 4/4. However, there's no rule saying that you can't, because usually in 4/4 we're thinking, okay, the 16th note is going to be the smallest increment of measurement that I'm going to use, but there's no rule saying you can't fit 5/16 into that space.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So using quintuplets and sextuplets and heptuplets and.
So it might sound like you're dragging, or that's where the glitch is. That it sounds like something's ahead or behind a little. I gotcha.
The other thing that I've been doing is like displacing the click.
Sure.
That's a pain in the butt.
Talk about that. So I make sure I know. I think I know what you mean.
Every time we turn on the click, you're hearing the dink or whatever. You're trying to put that on the beat, and a lot of studio people, they try to bury it so you can't hear it.
Sure.
Which is fascinating, because if you bury it like 3 or 4 times in the row, it totally messes with you, and then you end up completely off time. In a way, it's kind of weird. But displacing the click is if you go ahead and try to move the click to like the E.
Sure.
So you're trying to go ahead and fit it in between the notes.
Right.
And that's when you can really start going ahead and working on trying to play something, leaning it forward or leaning it back, because you can feel it where that click is in that space.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, for sure. Yep. So you know exactly where. And like you say, instead of burying the click, always playing dead center.
Yeah.
You know exactly what. Yeah, I like doing that. Do you do this? This is one of my things I like doing, is to dial in, is slowest metronome setting I can stand. Right?
Yeah.
Rock beat 101 or 6/8.
Uh-huh.
And then start taking away the hi-hats and just see if you can pluck it out of thin air and hit it dead center.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like no connective, just see if you can, boom. And then I kind of do what you do in thinking differently, but yeah, just try and bury it out of thin air with and then try and get exactly behind or ahead in the same spot out of thin air, just with no connection. Just
wow.
Boom. Yeah. As slow as you can stand it.
Got it.
That's what I work on sometimes. 'Cause don't you agree? I myself, being younger, thought it doesn't mean that playing fast is not difficult, because it is with technique, but playing slow is something that took me a long time to dial into.
Yeah.
Because when, I'm sure this was your experience too, because you have a lot of real life playing experience. It's like, then you go and play with bands, real things, and you got to relax. No one tells you how to play slow or relax unless someone tells you.
Yeah.
I had to figure that out. Just like, I have to learn how to actually chill.
Yeah. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. One of my things, I just decide, I don't know, and I got to stop talking about myself, but I would realize that when I was ready to start my so-called career or whatever, I would realize no one, I was like, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be the slow guy. I'm going to be the guy that plays slow.
Right.
That they just go, he's the guy. And then shuffles was the other thing. Way back when I was like, I'm going to learn to play. I'm going to be the shuffle guy.
Yeah.
Because no one else was doing. They were just still playing rock shuffles, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to work on that so I get all the gigs. And for a while, it worked.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then you came and took my gigs. It didn't matter.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I don't care. It's all good. All right. So, Wacky Questions.
Okay.
Desert Island album.
Yep.
What are you working on? If you could eat one type of food for the rest of your life only, what would it be?
Oh man.
You know.
One type of food. Like, are we talking about like a specific food, or you mean like a type, like I could eat any fruit?
Oh, man, I don't know. Why you gotta be like that? No, you're messing up my questions.
It's the teaching thing, man. I have to work on my specificity.
Right. All right. So I guess there's no answer. If you only could eat like one thing,
would this, like, if I chose to eat pizza, would I incur all the negative health benefits of constantly eating pizza?
Yeah, but I mean, how long do you want to live? I mean, who cares?
I'm gonna get a world record for living the longest. So it's gonna be
that's
added
right.
to my...
Yeah, don't go with pizza. Don't go with pizza.
If I chose to eat nothing, would I eventually die of starvation, or would my body just continue to work?
Well, you'd probably die, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, let's see here.
You know what I mean? You don't know what I mean. That's all right. I don't care.
I'm gonna go with. I'll go with.
Just humor me. Make up something so we can move on.
I'm fish food. Ben and Jerry's fish food.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
It is a ice cream concoction of like chocolate and caramel and marshmallow and like pieces of dark chocolate shaped like fish to
I got
honor
you.
the band Fish.
I got you.
PH.
I got you. Okay. Are you into fish? Are you a hippie?
I am not a hippie.
Me neither.
I enjoy the jam band thing. Like I like Allman Brothers Jam Band, but I don't like I don't care for Fish for some reason.
So it's not, the ice cream's not about the band.
No, it's not about the band.
All right, that's
about
cool.
the texture.
Gotcha. How did you must have been? How did that ever end up? You must have been hanging around hippies at some point.
Maybe I think I just bought it out of curiosity for one day.
I gotcha. That's cool. How long do you think, at the rate that we're going now, at what point will Ben and Jerry's fish food have marijuana in it? How long do you think that's going to be? That's not going to be too long.
Oh, I think it's kind of like
that's got to be, that'll be a
MK
thing.
Ultra. They've been putting it in for years.
Oh, right.
They're just conducting an experiment to see how it affects people.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, never mind. I can't say what I'm thinking.
I think next time I go get it, I will peer into the back of the fridge to see if there's some sort of camera recording people. Like, oh, it's this guy again.
No, you know where they put the cameras under your skin. You got to start looking under your own skin.
That's
why they
circulate pennies.
What?
Yeah, you haven't heard that theory?
Nope.
Oh God, there's some crackpot. They circulate pennies because they're collecting your DNA on the pennies.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Why pennies? Nothing else?
I don't know. That's the conspiracy theory.
Where'd you hear that?
Keith Jarrett.
Beautiful. Yep, that makes sense. Here, I'm going to say what I was thinking. Only being under the influence of MK Ultra would make me endure fish music. Sorry, I said it out loud. I said it.
There are good elements, but it's like...
Yeah, I know.
It's like I could probably listen to it for about like 5 or 10 minutes. Like, all right, I like having like vocals. Like one of my favorite artists is Sting because, all of his songs are unusual. They tell a story.
Sure.
I like his interesting use of meter. He's always playing with really great musicians. Yep. So I really like that. But listening to something like Animals as Leaders and Fish, it's like I can only deal with that for so long and be like, okay, I'm kind of bored.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, definitely. Do you want that to be it? Can that be it?
I don't.
Do you have anything else that you want to?
Do you have anything else?
Did I miss anything?
Did we miss anything?
Is there anything? Because I think that's all we need. Okay. Is that all we need?
I'm comfortable going longer because I'm starting. The more I speak into this microphone, I have a damn fine radio voice.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, I'm digging that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I might get into telemarketing.
Yeah, there's a future in that. That's what I've heard.
Can I practice right now?
Go ahead. I'm leaving, but you can.
Okay, that's cool. Hello, is this Mr. John Peckman?
No, he's not here, man.
I would like to speak to you about your extended car warranty.
I know. They're still on that. Can you believe it?
I love when they call me.
Really?
I save their numbers in my phone.
Do you really?
Yeah, and then when I'm driving, because I have like the car thing so I can use my card to speak on my phone because it hooks up to the stereo.
Sure.
I will call them on the
Call
highway.
them back?
Yeah, I will call them back and just mess with them.
Yeah. Remember Dave Senior's here. Well, he's not senior, but we'll call him Dave Senior. Don't you think? I remember. No, I will stop. We used to speculate back in the day. Did you ever? Well, I don't even know if they get this one anymore. But you ever get this one? You pick up the phone, and they say, "Please hold." Like they want you. They start with you on hold.
Yeah, it's like no. You're calling me.
What do you think the success ratio on that is? It's like zero.
I'm gonna go the dark horse here. I'm gonna say it's over 90%.
It's got to be. I'm just like, who is going to wait to be solicited to over the phone? I'm like, that is a bad business model.
If it keeps working, then there's got to be some population that it is working on.
Yeah, you get to a point where
I don't think you're plugged in.
I'm not plugged in.
I don't know.
I only have two over here. That's all right. Dave Senior is gonna chime in here. Yeah, go ahead. There he is.
Sometimes you get guys that will call you, "Hey, can you hold for my manager?" That's always a good.
Yeah,
one.
I'll do that.
He's got a deal for you.
Oh, brother.
That's always a classic.
Yeah, can you imagine? But I'm just thinking, like, what?
That's when I would come back with like, "Hi, can you hold for my manager?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my man. Yeah, I got your manager swinging. Because I had this. I'm sure they already do this, but I had this dark thought back in the day where there used to be the no call list. They would say, you would give your information, a number, to go on a non-call list. I would set up a fake no-call list, harvest those numbers, and then sell them off. So you think you're getting on a non-call list, and you're getting on more lists. That was my thing. That's what I was going to do. I was going to retire. But then I couldn't. It just was an idea that,
I think that's a good idea. I think you should pursue that.
I think I might. Then you can all just eat my dust. I'll just live in a castle shamelessly.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Awesome. I think I'm going to do that. All right. You know what? I got to go.
Okay.
All right. Hey, so this was the John Peckman podcast, coming to you from Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance in beautiful downtown Portland. And my name's John Peckman. We had Dave Kuzminski, not junior, but
It's easier to differentiate.
yeah, okay. All right. You're not going to be offended.
No.
Okay. All right. This was Dave Kuzminski Jr. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. And we will see you next time, right?
Yeah.
All right. Later. This show is dedicated to Keith Jarrett.